Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I am so excited to kick off this mini series. It is a topic that we talk about all the time here at Legend Leaders, and I'm excited to dive into it a little deeper and go through it in a way that we typically do in all of our group and one-on-one programs here within the organization. But now we get to bring it to you on the podcast and the YouTube channel and just give you a little taste of how we help executive women move through and get results at the highest level as quickly as possible. And so this month, what we're diving into is the concept of the speed of success, right? We know inherently that from a career perspective, we've got to get results very, very quickly. And you know that. You're used to that. And if you're listening to me right now and you're a first-year female executive, you're about to step into an executive seat for the first time, or you're walking through this, you've been going down this path for months now as a new executive, you know what I'm talking about. We talk about it all the time here at Legend Leaders, that it takes women on average 10 years to reach the executive ranks. And in those 10 years, you know without a doubt that you are driven and focused and you must get results quickly. The key reason why you got the role that you're in now as a new executive is because you delivered results. If we go back and look at our lives, we also know that starting in school, right, from the time that we started kindergarten through today, our ability to become the high achiever that we are, deliver those high performance end results, was because we delivered things with speed. Inherently, you have an ability to look through the matrix, right? To look through and see the problem and solve it and get the results quickly, definitively, and with this clarity that not a lot of people have. That's what makes you amazing, right? Now let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk about it as we step into the executive role. Because all the things that I just mentioned, from being in school through the prior 10 years of your career, when we've been focused on getting results, that's been pretty easy. It hasn't been a heavy lift. But when we step into the executive seat, because the growth, right, and we talk about this all the time, that step from a mid-level leader, that director level, that mid-level leader, up to an executive level rank, right, that growth is significant. Because there's a lot of things that shift in the way in which you must get results, in the actions, in the attitude, in the way in which you lead. All of those things must change, okay? And so because that growth has to happen, we're starting to freak out a little bit. Like, I'm trying to come up with the right words and I'm trying to use proper language. It's the oh crap moment, right? We step into this executive seat and we have this oh crap moment of what have I done? And it is this fear and this panic and this shame, because everything that I just told you is true. Everything that you've lived in your prior portion of your career around getting results, be it in school or in your career or all of the above, it's been pretty easy. It's been pretty natural. I'm not going to say you did it with your eyes closed. You may have in some instances, but it's been very easy relative to what you think you're facing in this moment. But here's the deal. The need for speed hasn't changed, right? The need to get results at a quick pace hasn't changed. It doesn't matter what role you're in, we've got to get the results. But what's happened is because you didn't know that you were going to have this growth, you think you missed it, there's a little doubt there that's causing you to think that maybe you can't get the same results. And so this entire month, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through this speed of success as a first-year exec, okay? And I'm going to continue to dive into this topic a little bit around what are the three things that cause us to slow our progress, and why, quite frankly, it takes the majority of executives on average 12 months to get consistent, high-level results in the executive ranks. There are three key reasons why this happens. It's exactly what we tackle here at Legend Leaders, and we help you overcome it. I'm going to teach you how to overcome these things through our mini-series that we're going to walk through together this month, right? Fair enough? So I'm going to give you the tips, the tricks, the strategies, whatever you want to call it, to help you get executive level results with speed. Because what we do here at Legend is instead of letting you take 12 months, we help you deliver that in 2 months. And so this entire month is going to help you kickstart that. And of course, as always, if you want our help and you want to go through our programs to help you get there even faster and eliminate even more guesswork, we're here for that. But this is going to give you a taste. These are the tips that you're going to need, the strategies that you're going to need to move through it. Fair enough? All right, so now let's dive back into this for a little bit. So why do we need speed and why does it matter and what happens to us? Why do we not get the speed? Why does it take us 12 months as a new exec versus the typical pace that we're used to, that we just talked about through our prior life, right? School and the prior 10 years of our career. What happened, right? What happened? Well, I've already alluded to it. I mentioned it. Let's go back and talk about it for just a second. Okay, one of the key things that happens is that we still have to get results. But notice this is really important. We have to still get results as an executive, but the way in which we get results and the endpoint, the results themselves change. It's a big deal. It's a huge, huge deal. It's one of the key things that happen, and we're going to talk about it throughout the rest of the month, but it's the fundamental shift that causes everything else to sort of waver within us and around us, and it causes that delay in the results that we're able to generate. Okay? So ultimately, what is it? It's the shift and the change in the definition of what results actually mean. If you think about our careers prior to being an executive, the way that we generated results is that we rolled up our sleeves, right? And we did the work. We did the function. We had a checklist, we had tasks we needed to get done, and we knocked those things out. That's how we generated results prior to the executive role. As an executive, the way that we get results is through people. You're going to hear me say this all the time, right? If you listen to this podcast regularly or watch this on YouTube, you know that that's what I talk about. The shift between mid-level to executive is significant, and the significance is the change in the definition of what results actually means to us in our careers. What results are we getting, and how do we get them? That is the shift. As an executive, we lead through people. We get results through people, and we get results by generating and creating strategies. We focus on ideas, concepts, and a vision and create a plan on how to make that vision come to life. But we don't go and actually check the box and do the tasks related to executing that plan. That's what our team that reports to us actually does, right? And you used to be a member of that team. You used to do the work to make that vision come to life. You would take that plan that was created by the executive team and you'd go execute it. And so for you as a mid-level leader, results meant, again, tasks, checking the box, and getting the results by seeing those KPIs, right? Because you created the results for which the KPI measured, right? That it all aligned. That was you. You learned that for 10 years. That was your life. And as you got promotion after promotion, your responsibilities shifted a little bit, but overarchingly, the results and the way in which you got them stayed pretty much the same. Now as an executive, there's a significant shift. And so yes, we've got to get results, but the way in which we get them and the end point of what the results actually are very, very different. And here's the deal. Most of the time, we didn't see that coming. We didn't see it coming. That's the truth. You've been so good throughout your entire life of being able to identify a problem very quickly and solving that problem. We told you that already, right? When I said that earlier in this episode, you're like, yeah, that's totally me. That's exactly who I am. But you didn't see the shift coming from mid-level to executive, not to the degree that you're experiencing. You knew there'd be a difference. Every promotion brought some differences, but this shift was huge. It is huge. The growth is huge. The changes that we have to make in our leadership are huge. And the frustration that you feel is not with the world around you, it's within you. It's the world within you. Let me say it that way. The frustration that you feel is because you internally didn't see the huge shift that you were going to have to make in your leadership. And because you didn't see it, and you always see it, you're not happy with yourself. And so that causes some doubt. And you don't doubt. There's a little doubt. There's always a little imposter syndrome. But overarchingly, you know that you can solve problems because you've always done it. Now, because you've missed the fact that there's been a significant shift in what you have to do, and you miss the fact that you're going to have to grow so much, you're going, okay, well, if I miss this, am I going to be able to do it? There's that doubt. There's that questioning. You're questioning yourself in a way that you've never questioned before. Why am I saying all of this? Number one, it's unspoken, but it's true. You know that it's true, so let me speak the unspoken for a second, okay? Results, the definition has changed, and your confidence in yourself is wavering a little bit because you didn't see that change coming. And so that's part of the reason why there's a 12-month lag. We're slow to start taking action. We're slow to move forward. We're slow in figuring out the pieces because we're so frustrated with ourselves that frustration and that focus on how could we have missed this slows us down. Okay? We got to call it out. We got to acknowledge it for what it is. Okay? Maybe you didn't know that that's what's happening. You feel the frustration. You feel yourself challenging yourself. But you got to accept the fact that because you're challenging yourself, you're slowing yourself down. It's one of the barriers to your speed. Okay, so there are 3, and we're going to tackle these barriers this month. Number 1 is exactly what I just called out, what I've just walked you through. The shift or the change in the definition of results and what that looks like for us. What do results look like at the executive level? That shift and that adjustment and that change in definition has happened, and therefore our ability to work through that and grab it and acknowledge it and just hit it head on is wavering a little bit. That slows us down. The information in our brain, the questioning, the doubt, the frustration is slowing us down. It's taking us out of 4th gear and putting us in 3rd, maybe even 2nd, maybe even 1st gear. Depends on who you are. But it definitely slows us down. That's one of the things that happens. The other barrier to our speed to success as a new executive is honestly, and we're going to talk about this in the next round, is our lack of preparation. Okay? Because we didn't see the shift coming, the change in the definition of results, and we're frustrated with ourselves. The other thing that has obviously happened, and the reason for the frustration, is we didn't prepare for the growth. We didn't prepare for the shift. And now what happens is we're playing this trial and error game with our career. We're going to talk through that. The third reason is because of all the unknowns and the doubt and the fear and the lack of preparation and the trial and error that we're all going through, right? Reasons 1 and 2 leads us into reason number 3, which is we all want to feel safe. It's one of the basic human needs, is we need some certainty and some security. And so we want to continue to generate that in our career at a time that we don't feel that. And so then we start taking some actions and performing some functions that actually aren't going to generate executive level results at all. Okay, and so they're time wasters in this role. And that slows our speed. All of those 3 things, those are the 3 major components that slow us down as a new exec. We're going to walk through the other 2 over the next few weeks, and I'm going to spend some time teaching you exactly how to combat these 3 barriers, these 3 roadblocks in your career relative to speed to success as a first-year exec. And we're going to get you on your way. As I've already said, if you want to move through this faster, come join one of our programs. We're happy to help you with that. That's exactly what Career Confidence specifically does. I'll put a link into this episode so that you can check it out if you're interested. Would love to have you. Either way, though, please grab the workbook. The workbook I create every single month. It's specific to this monthly series. It's going to ask you some questions. It's going to make you think. I know you're already thinking through this episode, but let's write it down. Let's work through it at the next level, because don't you want to have speed to success? Don't you want to shrink that 12-month period into at least 6 months? At least 4 months, if not 2 months? Shrink it down. Get results faster. Get your security faster. Your confidence back. Get your life back. Do the work. Get the workbook. Do the work. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. But right now, in the workbook, there are going to be some questions. I want you to be thinking about it. You're going to see them in there. But the key part is, where are you in the shift? How are you feeling about the change in the definition of results? And how are you treating yourself and how are you talking to yourself as you're acknowledging this shift? That's your homework. And you're going to get more homework in the workbook. Go download it. And I will connect with you. I cannot wait to have you join me again on next week's episode when we're going to talk about the trial and error game and the guesswork that we inject into our careers as a first-year executive. As always, go and be legendary.